Hi guys, what I've decided to do with Angela, we've decided, because we're not going to knock this toilet area down, but we're going to put an extra skin on it on the outside. We've decided to put the toilet in now because we tracked the pipe work outside, and it is ceramic piping. But what I had to do was, I had to where they put the original toilet in, they concreted the toilet in. So I had to smash the toilet out. Now we've got friends and guests coming down, family and guests coming down.
Spenny and his girlfriend.
And just make things a little bit easier for them. I've decided to tile as much of the bathroom as I possibly can and give her a push button toilet, which...
No, you're actually going to do it, Aves.
Yeah, I'm actually going to put the toilet in. So we're going to put, what I've done is, I put a batten along the bottom. You know, it can be any size batten, as long as it's level. So when you do it, always make sure you never tile to the floor.
We have got sort of
This is the original toilet area here, and the toilet was actually concreted into the floor. So I had to smash it out. So what I did is I put a cement mix in, but with extra PVA into the mix. Now when you put your batten in the wall, always make sure the bubble's dead centre. This is because it will give it a true all the way to the top. So you get a true. Then what I then do is, I always cut 50% tiles, half and half tiles, or you can measure it out across. But I always cut the 50%, so we got a half a tile at one end. So when we decide to join it across this side, it gives it a proper finish. On this here, the next bit of very important is I always have a version of a hook. Because we're doing small tiles, and they are indeed very, very small tiles. And these tiles here are 13 euros a box, but they cover a lot of space. I like these tiles because they come out with a lovely finish. And we did it in our other house, and everybody said how nice they were, especially with a grey grout. And you've got a choice, you can either grout, so you can put the adhesive on the tile here, or directly onto the wall if the wall is true. And this wall is pretty true. But what I've done with the wall, for any bonus, I've put a PVA on the wall. And the PVA gives it an extra suction. Now, the colour of the wall is a PVA itself, and I won't worry about the excess bits of paint on it because I've tried to scrape it off, it won't come off. So it means it's been bonded on, I'll treat it as a primer. So, what I'm going to do now is, I should have got I just realised I've got the wrong side trowel, because you can get them pointed at the opposite side. So, I put it on here, like so.
It's quite strong, isn't it, that adhesive?
Oh, it's very strong. I mean, normally, the one you can get from England is normally better.
I think you'll be pretty high tonight in this small area.
Possibly. So, because the wall is true, I'm not gonna put the adhesive on the tiles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it this way. I'm making sure it's nicely spaced out. My favourite way of doing it is actually putting it in the tile itself. Well, this is absolutely the fastest way of doing it. So I'll start off with a half tile, which I always put the cut edge into the wall here, like such. Now, most people say, always start in the middle and work out. Well, it's a matter of preference really. To me, it doesn't make any difference for me, starting in the middle and working out. I prefer, as I mean to go on, and make sure your tile is true. So you've got a nice little straight edge on it. Treat it like you're doing woodwork. I'm using 4mm spacers, which is a very large spacer, which are the 4mm spacers. I'll set it on the batten, spacer over, and make sure the space is in. I always use a rubber hammer to tap it true, so it's all true. Followed by the next tile. Make sure nothing's on your batten so you don't get any too much height. Always try to keep your hands clean when you're doing this kind of work. It can be a...
Now clean your hands, Ebs.
Well, I mean, keep your hands clean via adhesive.
You've got some on that tile at the end.
Yeah, it's okay. That was pulled a little bit. It's nicely level.
One thing Abe is really good at is tiling.
Well, it's not worth nancying about on this kind of tiling. The best thing to do is just whip up. If, like you say, the wall on this wall is, whoever rendered this wall did actually a good job on the wall. A really, really good job on it. So the wall is really true, so...
And that was 50 years ago.
Yeah, because we are working in extreme heat today. Today it's like silly hot. It must be bordering 30 degrees.
Yeah, definitely.
This is one of the reasons why I'm doing it like this. Even in the shade here, it is extremely warm. And the good thing is my neighbour came out, and the lovely neighbours, and they came out with a Budweiser.
Yeah, a bottle of Budweiser each.
Yeah. It's okay. Now to keep the level, to make sure it's true, on the wood here, I always use a little bit on the edge here. There's a little bit of a groove on the what's being put in. On the groove, tongue and groove board I've used. That's one of the reasons why I like using tongue and groove. And basically, it makes sure that there's no pulling in like this. So if you can keep it to the tongue and groove, you're not going to go far wrong on it. So I used to have a little trowel that I could just dip in this, and it made my life a little bit easier. So I didn't used to get my spreader too badly covered.
So when we take the roof off, we're not going to damage these tiles, are we, Obes?
No, these tiles won't get damaged. Because it's not going to make any difference. I'm going to take the roof off, I'm going to change the buttons, I'm going to increase the height. Now I'm using the adhesive is designed specifically for small tiles. These ones are, which is S type S. Categorized as S, which is small. Sometimes I have to use my glasses because I can't see very well.
Do you want a little cloth, Obes, to wipe those marks off?
Yeah.
Right, I'll go get you one. So, you've done that in a short
Yeah,
time.
this is 7 foot exactly, so I did actually measure it all the way out. So it finished with a full tile at the end. Right, so I finished with a full tile. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a partial tile in, then I'm going to build it up from the middle, then work out.
Oh, right, okay.
But first I'm just going to put this part tile in here.
So where did you learn your tiling herbs?
Well, being honest, what happened was, when I was living in England, and I couldn't get anyone to do tiling. And one day I got a friend who came round, and he was a really good tiler, and he taught me how to tile. He said there's not really any shortcuts, you just have to make sure it's all plumb and level, and make sure your mix is very well mixed. And if you follow by those guidelines and make sure you check your level, crisscross your level and everything across the board, you ain't going to go amiss.
It's very warm in here, isn't it?
Oh, it's shockingly warm.
And this is the north facing bathroom.
Okay, that's the...
So I've noticed you've actually put those tiles, those crisscrosses, you've stuck them outwards. Let me just show people. Those crisscrosses, you've actually crossed them outwardly.
Yeah, because what's happening
Is that you're going to go across?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is take the middle tile out, because this was just the cross one that was in the middle, which was the space in the middle.
Yeah.
Because we can't use that now because it wouldn't equate to it.
Yeah.
It was only to make sure we had a space in the middle.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop that over like that.
Oh gosh.
Put
It's a
the
bit dark here.
tile in there. Get another, so make sure you've got plenty.
That doesn't look straight, Ed.
Yeah, because I haven't put this one in yet.
See.
Always make sure your spacers are clean. So that one was slightly dirty. And if it's slightly dirty, what happens is...
It can make everything out.
Even the slightest millimetre, slightest bit out, it will look out. Now always make sure you put the top one in for temporary, because you will take that one out shortly. You can clean as you go along. Now, because I'm not working with the batten as such, I'm making sure that the tile is true, which is perfect.
So it's a lot of checking, isn't it, as you're going along?
Yeah. I missed a bit of adhesive there. Now, if your wall is slightly bald, what will happen is, because of the nature of these tiles, you'll end up with like a little crease over it in the tile, like an indent, and you don't want that indent. I can remember the old days. I used to actually tile I used to adhesive each individual tile before I put it on the wall. In these temperatures, I would advise not, and always make sure you never mix too much adhesive. Only mix a certain amount which you can handle. So I normally mix a bucketful, a small bucketful, probably about 10 litres of adhesive. Little space there. What did I take out? Next one across. Once you get a fluid motion on it, it's actually very easy to do.
I mean, this is literally what, been 15 minutes?
Yeah. It's all down to preparation.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a hand mixer. which you can buy for about €60. If you look at that, it's absolutely perfect line that is. And you always do it like a cross angle diagonal line as well. And see, that's true as well. Now, if your wall is not good, and it's like this, I'd advise you to do the adhesive on each tile. That way, you won't have any pockets in it. Now, the question is, how far will the wife allow me to go up?
I thought you were putting the shower on this side.
Yeah, the shower's going to go on this wall.
Well, you might as well do it to the top then.
Yeah, because the other side where the shower's going to be is where the doors, the entrance is going to go to it.
Yeah.
Now, the little grooves gives you a little bit of area to work with, you see. When you put the adhesive on with little gap spaces, it gives you a little bit of area to work with and compression to work with. Never do it with a straight trowel, always a proper tiling trowel.
Yeah, gloves his toes. It's always got to be the right thing for the job.
Just check that across that. Like you say, it doesn't take long before, in these temperatures in Portugal, to go off.
Wow, Ed. So that's taking you about, what, 40 minutes?
Yeah, about 40 minutes. They are small tiles.
Are you high yet?
I'm very high on the glue, yeah. I'm double vision right now. I had to cover the sewage up because it's giving me...
Smell?
Yeah, it was making me very high. It's worse than magic mushrooms.
Yeah.
Well, not as good as magic mushrooms. Yeah, it doesn't take long to do this. I've been doing tiling for years. You know what I mean, off and on for years. And all it is having confidence in yourself. If you have confidence in yourself, you can do anything really. It's also making sure that you gauge everything right, and also make sure everything is clean, especially your tools. Clean tools makes an easy life. Okay, let's just track this. Spin that way around. It's nice to use a small spirit level on this, it's perfect. And let's just track the cross. Yep. See, there mustn't be any rock in it at all. It has to be straight all the way through. No rock, no tilt. Everything has to be 100% on. Then once you get to that point, everything's easy. So what I've been doing now is I've been working from the middle and working out. Because I just use the perp edges, which is the perps here, and put the spirit level on the perp to build up. So now it's becoming very easy now. Now we've got to the point here. But like you say, the faster you work, if you can work with it, the easier it is. Because what it means is that you can adjust. Oh, one way around.
It's got ridges in, hasn't it?
Yeah. The ridges help for the compression. Doesn't matter if you get any on here because it'll just come off easy. Like you say, a small bucket for me, this size, is all I like to work with. Anything more than that, the mix goes too hard too fast. A little bit off my funnel. Makes it nice and easy. Do you know how much do you know how much it costs people to tile per square metre, a tiler?
I don't know.
They charge 37 euros or 40 euros per square metre.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
It's a huge amount of money. So, this afternoon, I've tiled this ready, but it needs to be grouted next. And I started the tiling work along here. Now, I'm not going to take this off, otherwise it's securing everything, the tiles that you're supporting for now. I'll take it off first thing tomorrow morning.
You mean that wooden board?
Yeah. The batten. So what I've done is temporarily. This is because I'm not tiling. I'm not fitting the toilet in until tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. So what I'm doing is I put a temporary flange in here, which is connected to this, and I've had to build it up, so it's built up nicely.
And the toilet didn't actually come with one, did it?
No, it didn't have a unit to fit into it. So I've had to use 2 flanges into this. This is the first one, which will go like that. And I've had to put a second one in. And this is only because I put the batten in the wall. And when I take the batten out of the wall, I'll take this one out and do both of them out, and I'll put one unit in instead. It just means that we can use the toilet. So, I think a minute might actually be able to get away with just the one. Yeah, looks like I'll be able to get away with the one. So this is it.
So you sticking that underneath.
Yep. Oh. Trying to without breaking the toilet.
It's really warm in here actually now. It's 7:30 at night, nearly 8 o'clock. That's a very good bit.
Yeah. So that actually is a good fit for this toilet. I'll probably have to readjust it, see where I can pop it onto. Then what I'll do is I'll have to cement around it.
Yeah.
They aren't the easiest things to put in. Now, this is the reason why I've adjusted the flange like it is. Because I've got all the spaces in the back wall and I don't want to disturb too many of the spaces. So once it's done, this toilet will fit true to the wall itself. This is for tonight. This is just Angela has somewhere to go, if she needs to go.
You know me, I'm a bucket girl at the moment on an evening.
Well, this is
Abe on his throne.
This is doable. This is doable for now. So I'm not complaining. Just take that loose tile out, which is in here, and that should work nicely. That once it sits.
Yeah.
So we've got a toilet now we can physically use.
Yeah.
So I am very, very pleased with how that is, and I'm pleased with the flange as well. I'll silicone it all in once I've done the floor and everything. Now the original toilet, like I said, was concreted into the floor.
Yeah.
So I've had to rebuild the floor up. But I think it's going to go up quite nice in here. Once I get the ceiling higher,
Yeah.
and I put the shower in, and the shower goes from that side over to this side.
Yeah.
And then we put the door in, which will be here, leading into the house.
Yeah.
And then this door will be sealed off.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'm doing now is I've prepped up the surface for the grout. Now, before you actually start grouting, you should always make sure that you got like sometimes you get a little, it's like a plastic spacer, like a plastic seal around the tile, and you need to make sure you take that off because it can damage your grouting. On the other side, I've got a little bit of water in here, and I never mix too much grout. Make sure you've got a good sized bucket to mix it in, and make sure it's also very clean. And this is grey grout, so I'm introducing the powder, the grout, gradually, using Angela's kitchen fork, which she'll probably tell me off for that.
Yeah, because you never clean them, and then we have no forks.
Yeah, I am a bit lazy with the forks. I'm mixing it gradually and adding a bit more as I go along. Now, what we're going to do with it, we're going to have a grey grout. Angela decided that she wanted a grey grout. It's better than a white grout because a white grout gets dirty and it doesn't look very nice.
It's not the charcoal one that we had before the waves, isn't that? It's like silver, is that?
Well, this is the only grey one they had in the shop.
Okay.
And I think it's still going to look nice.
Yeah. You're grouting your lungs, Ames.
I am indeed grouting my lungs. Now, this mix does go harder, so you have to keep monitoring it, what you haven't used up. Now, you do it, I like to mix it like I'd mix whisk and egg.
So what consistency would you say pancake batter?
Yeah. So pancake, you don't want it to be too hard and you don't want it to be too soft. Just enough so you can put it nicely in and it can penetrate into the gaps, into the back. See, that's still not enough, thick enough, so...
So thick pancake batter then?
Thickish. Because I'm doing a very large area, I'm going to mix a lot up, so I'm not going backwards and forwards. Now we're starting to get the consistency right. Now this stuff goes off very fast.
So I wouldn't even say that was pancake batter anymore, Eb. I'd say it was more...
Doughy.
Well, it's not doughy, is it? It's just really thick. Like a thick cream, a double cream, I'd say.
Make sure all your lumps are out of it. Very easy to make up. So as you can see, it's a nice mix. It's like a plasticine kind of a mix. It's a nice smooth mix. And what I use is, I like to use these here, which is little scrapers, but they're fantastic for tiling with. So what I do is I try not to waste so much. And I always like to use my hose board because it means I can get an even amount on it all the time. I don't like wasting these things. I don't like like everything to be used up because everything is money when it comes down to wastage. So unlike a normal scraper, this is very much more flexible. So you can get.
Is it called something? Is it for grout or is it?
Yeah, this is basically for grouting.
Yeah.
But it's got a lot more flexibility than a normal scraper.
So you've really cracked on with this, Saves, and it's not. It hasn't taken you long.
Yeah, it's taken about 40 minutes.
Still doing that one, but what have you done? You've grouted them, wiped around it.
Yeah, what you do is I'm just waiting for it to go a little bit harder and take all the excess off, like so, and I reuse the excess.
Yeah.
For the corners. And once you've done that, because I do have a very small amount of time to work with it.
Yeah, because of the heat, it's starting to dry up as you mixture is
so
there.
I get well, it doesn't have to be totally clean, but a smooth cloth, and I run over it like so,
Yeah.
And very, very lightly with no pressure whatsoever. You see, and where the tiles, it should be a perfect line, like so. Now you can get a sponge trowel and you can use that, and it gives you, but because it's a beveled edge tile, it doesn't actually get deep enough in. So what I do is I just use a thick cloth and I turn it and turn it and turn it over. And because I've let it dry for a little bit long, for a while, it doesn't dig the grout out. But they're very important to let it, and if you do get a little bit of a hole, which you do see sometimes, just run the cloth through it, put a little bit of extra mix through it using your finger. But it's a flush finish. As you can tell, it's a little bit indent there. Just feed it in. The opposite way.
So how long will that take before you could have a shower in here then?
You can probably have a shower in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of hours. I would say give it 6 hours.
Yeah.
In this heat, give it 6 hours and you can have a shower.
Yeah. Don't know if you can see that it has actually got a lovely beveled edge. I don't know if the camera's actually picking up. But we had them in our other house and we loved them, and Abe went and bought them the other day.
Now,
so
the thing is, you can get big tiles for a bathroom. Massive tiles. But the cost of the tile adhesive for the bigger the tiles is a lot more money. You can pay up to €30 for a bag, whereas small tiles with adhesive is relatively cheap. €10 for the same size bag. Well, Angela's happy because I managed to put the toilet in. Now the pipe work is not the best right now because what we're going to do is Angela decided to change plans, which I think is a good idea actually. From her point of view. Originally we was going to have the door here leading into the bathroom. But because we're moving the shower over onto this side of the wall, but we have to increase the height, we both agreed to knock this section out here and put a doorway in. But we can't knock this side out until we build up the other side. Because this is going to be the pantry area leading off into the bathroom and into the kitchen. So it's a much better idea, Angela said, much better idea than my idea. I've grouted this wall here, so this wall is totally finished, apart from when we have to go higher. I'm going to finish off tiling this wall here, along the back of this wall here. So it's going to go up, but we're going to tooth it in. Now, Angela again says, why don't we have the window? Why don't we have the window here in the apex area? I think it's a good idea, but what I might do here is I might put some blocks in here, like glass blocks, to let extra light in.
yeah.
And I think that'll look quite sweet.
Yeah.
You don't want too many windows in the bathroom, especially when you're under the toilet. You don't want people looking in.
Nobody's going to look in. We're in the middle of 2 acres.
I know.
But the thing that really made me happy with this morning, show them.
No more bucket. So it's a simple way to put plumbing in. Just like I use compression joints in my plumbing. So all the pipes can be taken out, and all the pipe work will be hidden away because when I put the second skin on the wall, this bathroom wall, I'm going to put the pipe work into the second skin on the other side of the wall. But I can't get the pipe work through until I drill the hole and make the access point.
So after 5 months, we've got now a flushing toilet, which is excellent. But we will be using still the bucket water to water the plants with. Now, bucket has gone astray this morning. It should be under there.
Well, it's done. It's now an upgraded dunny.
So the dunny's done.
Well, it's done for now. It'll do for visitors now because.
We need to put the curtain pole on now.
Yeah, let's put the curtain pole because nobody wants to be seen
on the throne.
On the throne.